Tlantlalaks, Soweto Parliament. I wish everyone happy Human Rights Day, but it's not a good idea because, again, the problem lies in how I do things. I interrogate the history, I go to the real cause of the day, why it was selected, and. So I thought I'd share some findings with absolutely everyone, right? If we look at the history of Human Rights Day, and we go across all the cultures that exist in South Africa and say that, listen, or maybe let's take it down a bit, races, because there's less races and there's quite a lot of cultures. And you say, white people, tell me, what does Human Rights Day mean to you? Indian people, tell me, what does Human Rights Day mean to you? Colored people, tell me, what does Human Rights Day mean to you? Black people tell us, now Chinese people tell us what. I bet you the answers will be different. Again, that's a problem of living in a very diversified country. Now, what does it mean to my community, to the community of Soweto? Because I don't like speaking for communities I don't live in. I don't like speaking for other races that I can't reason, because I'd need their background, their history, and everything else to reason for them. And I'm not in that type of business. So my business is Soweto Parliament. So I'm thinking to myself that, there's this new culture in celebrating history that is convenient. It's not truthful, it's convenient. It's convenient because a day like Human Rights Day is in actual fact Sharpeville massacre. It's in actual fact a day where black people were massacred in Sharpeville in 1960 to be exact, right? So history somehow decided to fade and dilute this day, to say, no, don't remind these blacks that we once massacred them and we killed them in numbers and they had a mass grave and mass burial. No, don't do that. Let's call it Human Rights Day so that their pain is somewhat inherited by, or seemed to be inherited by, other races, so that we move on. Which for me is rubbish. I mean, we can't live like that. In 1960, our people in Sharpeville were massacred. Hundreds of people were shot, mass graves. And I bet you those people in Sharpeville didn't get the necessary psychological treatments to overcome such things. When it comes to black people, I must just forget. Which brings me to the second part of what I was thinking. Sharpeville massacre has been rebranded to Human Rights Day. What the hell is that? What leadership do we have in this country that allows for such nonsense? Why is there so much intentional, deliberate actions to make sure that black people forget their history? Small history, big history, all types of history, as long as it's got blackness in it, we must forget it, we must rebrand it and call it something else. As if religion alone didn't do enough damage, and every other efforts to erase our history and give us other things as history. There's many books, guys. Many books. Go Barbale. Let's read. There's a book called Forbidden History. You must inbox me if you don't know where to find this book. I'll find it for you. It will give you better perspective on your real history as black people. Now when you look around, even current leadership, current government has a problem. It's allowing black history to be erased and to be redefined under its leadership. And that's disgusting. I can give you another example. I'm sitting in Soweto. In Soweto, we celebrate something called Youth Day now under this leadership of government and politics. And I guess it happens around the country and everywhere else that South Africa celebrates Youth Day June 16 every year. And people run around in their school uniforms and call it Youth Day. Again, let's ask the white fellas, our white brothers, the sisters, what does Youth Day mean to you? And let's not go far, and let's ask our Indian communities, what does Youth Day mean to you? Alright, let's also ask the Chinese fellas, what does Indian Youth Day mean to you? It's not the same. It's not the same. Again, there was an effort to remove the real definition, the real history from 1976 Soweto uprising. That's the real one. Why don't you want the kids to know the truth the real definitions. Why are you hiding this truth from us and from the kids and from the future of this country? Why? Why must black history, good or bad, be erased? Why is there an effort across this globe to erase black history? I guess no one can answer that. No one can answer that because everyone, including the leaders of this country, are at the center of being colonized. They don't manage, they're just managers of the country. They're not the real leaders of this country. Otherwise, it's easy to see black communities developing faster than Sentin. Under black leadership, why Sentin continued to develop better than Soweto and Alexandra and everything else? What's the difference in 1994 and today? What's the difference? There's no difference. So with that said, I want to tell everyone that you might be feeding our black communities with drugs, but not everyone gets high. You might be making sure that every corner has a bottle store, but not everyone drinks. Some of us remain sober-minded. As young as we are, we remain sober-minded and we remain true to the cause. The baton that we were given by our ancestors that died for this so-called freedom, we have it. The torch, we have it. Mollo watuka. Too much effort to make sure that black communities lack the harmony that was natural in our systems as black systems and black communities. But not all is gone. We are still here. We have not forgotten. We have not forgotten. We will never forget. There's many cultures, many races that the world has managed to help heal from what they suffered. Example, the Jews and the Holocaust. The world helped them heal. I'm not saying help them fight, I'm saying heal. Which part of this world has helped black people heal from colonization and apartheid to remain in the same poverty? And it continued through systematic apartheid and systematic colonization. But those are the problems. The solutions are that black communities must emancipate themselves. And by so doing, we will have the emancipation of black people across the world, one community at a time. Let's not try jump into national agendas because those things are too big. We are not resourced enough. And we're not yet united the way we should be for us to say, what's the national agenda? Let's attack it national. No, we don't have that type of grassroots infrastructure. Where we need to start now is for all black people to go back to their communities and ensure that the economic freedom is achieved. Go back, take over all the economic pillars. In Soweto, I'll speak for Soweto. Sowetans, the time is now. We're going to start taking back these shops from Pakistanis so that the part of this billion rand economy of spazas comes back into the hands of Sowetans. We're going to go into each mall, Maponya Mall, Chablani Mall, every other mall, and make sure that the people employed in these malls are Sowetans. There's no way in this lifetime that a place like Soweto, with a population and economic power greater than three countries, neighboring countries put together, Lesotho, Swaziland, Botswana, can suffer such poverty and unemployment. Juan can never be. The problem is that we are led. It's time to lead ourselves. We've got enough leadership capacity. We've got enough intelligence and intellectuals, natural leaders, born leaders in our black communities for us to lead ourselves. Soweto will be an example. Soweto will be an example like it always has been. It will start in Soweto, it will ripple effect outside this city, this province, this country, and ultimately the entire continent. And hopefully Africans in the diaspora also catch on. We'll create that blueprint. We haven't forgotten. The mess matters. Not only from 1960 with the massacre. Not only with the June 16, 1976 Soweto student uprising. Even before that, the 500 years and even longer than that of slavery and colonization, we haven't forgotten those things. There's a big attempt for us to forget. Not all of us will be high. Not all of us will be drunk. Sober-minded to teach our kids and the youth and our communities about our real history, so that we can have catalysts
actions that are catalysts to making sure that the day gets closer and closer for us to revolt and take back what's ours. The time is now, and we will. We haven't forgotten. Dantalaks, Soweto Parliament. Thank you.